Bob, who's supposed to be across the lake?
Just win the ball, he's on his way.
Hey, they were just asking. Morning. Are we down there today? There's Jess over there. What? We're just pulling down Rocky Mountain.
What was wrong?
Yeah, what was? That would help being down there.
I'll probably come back there.
see. There's about 34% left, so I'm just going to go ahead and eject the battery. Hey, Steve. How you doing, sir?
Never sent it. Never sent it. Back at 500 bills, and then we have the phone off. Yeah, but she's like Johnny on the spot.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Yeah, she goes, we didn't pay. Did you get an email? I go, oh yeah. When? I go, a month or so ago. She goes, why didn't you forward it to me? I go, forgot. And then I got the, and well deservedly actually.
Do we not need all this?
Good morning, man. Beautiful day, aren't we?
Okay. So, we... Well, that's what I was... Don't need... I'm just trying to keep somebody here. That's for the second time. Okay. I'm just going to move them.
They're going to try and vote.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
He might as well take me back to it, put it ahead of his phone.
Good morning, how are you? I'm good. Yeah, I know, just kind of sit by myself, be nervous all by myself.
Win, Ellie.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to Stage Lake, the 18th U.S. Open. If we could have your attention, please, for our national anthem.
Put it on it?
Yeah. Let's play ball! All right, fantastic. All right. I'll get them to go here.
Yeah, well, that's my tent.
Oh, the blue one that we used yesterday.
Yeah.
That was your tent. Hey, listen. Why do we got a little bit of time? Let's get it.
Number one off the dock is Slalom, Kennedy, Alexandria, Garcia, and Louise.
Is this good for you? I kind of keep the legs out of the 360 or 180, isn't it? Yeah. Afraid you're gonna have it. Go all the way down? Well, just let it go all the way down. We'll just see how it does. That was how. Here we come this way just a little bit.
Alright. Anyway, thanks again, dude.
You will.
Appreciate it.
How much do you zoom in and out trying to keep up with?
Use your discretion. If you see a shot that you like and can keep them in the frame. I mean, I would sacrifice zoom to keep them in the frame, but if you want to zoom in and stay with them, especially when they get to about here, because they're going to be coming right at you, so you've got to be zoomed all the way out by the time they get to pipe.
It's a lot of in and out, in and out. That's what I was trying to.
Yeah. And then there's there's a rocker switch at the top. Right there.
Oh, that zooms also?
Zoom, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Even there,
Well, you're controlling all that, so I don't need to do it.
As a matter of fact, this box here automatically records whenever there is something input into it. Aside from also wirelessly transmitting.
We were not quite finished yesterday, so we moved our preliminaries for junior women and junior men jumping into today. And then we'll follow the quick finals. That will. And then the jump finals will follow well, so keep that in mind. Wrap that up, hopefully in a timely manner.
I don't like the effort. Did you guys bring back up Alabama shirts? Where's your team, Alabama? We all saw them yesterday. Never. Give you an idea of how effective and how accurate the receiving process is. Is that the top 4 seeded skiers in the international girls are also the top 4 of the skiers that will be skiing in the finals this morning as well. And not absolutely in their seed position from yesterday, but still the top 4. And we also have to keep in mind that the objective, especially in the preliminaries, is getting into the finals. So, yeah, slightly different mindset than that we're going to see today, because now there's only one spot that is coveted in this division and all the divisions as well, and they're trying to overcome that number one position in this, the 2018 Junior U.S. Open. So you might see a little bit more aggression today from some of the top skiers, especially ones that are seated. Out first, you might see them trying to put a little bit more pressure on the top of the Right now, not much of an issue right there as she makes her way nicely around 6 ball. And now she'll be back in a moment. It's already off the 13 meters of tow rope.
It just gets real fast, right? It's so close. I mean, you're like close.
Keep in mind, yesterday her best performance is 4 buoys that brings you off of this particular line.
I don't quite understand why the guys
really do anticipate that she's going to be a little bit more aggressive. Knowing that yesterday was all she needed, was 4 buoys. She had to get past.
Go get mine.
She had to get past 1 buoy, actually 3 buoys at the 13-meter line length yesterday to assure herself of a spot in the finals, and she did that with 4 buoys. And as I was thinking about mindset, so she, realized that assured her of a spot. So not necessarily to go any bigger than that. But right now, Isabella. Carmelo on the water.
she skied that well, and of course she had intentions of 6 boots at the 13-meter line length, and now she's going to attack 35 off to put pressure on the girls yet to come off the dock. Six buoys and counting. Isabella will be back into the course, 35 off the tow line, 12-meter tow rope. Keep in mind the top score from yesterday is 2 buoys at 38 off the tow line.
How did he use up in He hasn't done anything off it. Take us. It makes them huge too out there.
Yeah.
Let me check.
I was wondering how she could get.
I bet she was like, thinking she was like, wide. I bet she was like, oh, this is, I'm probably just really wide, and then like when you get to 32,
I know,
it's
we
back
probably
to
close like she must have said that was way easy. Oh yeah. Well, that'd be like a 38 turn. A 32. Yeah,
Just a little slight delay of a course adjustment here. So just bear with us as we run back on it.
I think they were on the wrong anchor.
Lift it up in the stands, it goes right through.
Is there like a mini course in here that they put it at maybe?
I don't know.
Did you see how wide she was on that side?
I mean,
I wasn't really watching.
I was pretty impressed with how wide she was.
That might be fun.
is it like a trick course thing?
Well, usually they don't have movies all the way down that are in more, unless it's like her mini courses. Anna, Lauren Vasquez, and then our random roommate, we're all going to the morning. I'm going with the team. Well, they were supposed to drop me off, but they don't want to take the extra.
So when do you go?
Today. Oh, dang. Yeah, after we finish skiing and stuff.
How long steady is your drive? For a while.
I thought it was pretty.
10 minutes.
You got a Jim Michaels course?
I didn't do one. There's no thing. Oh, are they really? They're my favorite. I have the ones I had on yesterday.
I thought maybe it was the perspective. I'm like, she looked so wide.
Looking good.
Way out beyond the
But whenever you get to about this point, you still need to keep line of sight. So I might have to end up moving the transmitter, because when you get to about here.
Am I blocking your?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's just hard to.
Yeah. Exactly.
You need me a camera with a display on both sides.
I'm actually thinking of putting a display on the top.
Well, I mean, because what I'm having to do is I can't see it. But so I'm getting in your path to see it.
I got you.
But I'll try to stay out of it. But yeah, that would help.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm doing, is I can't see it.
Yeah.
Looks like we're back on time here. A minor adjustment to a point.
Hey, I put the buoys on the inner course like you paid me, and they caught it, okay?
Apparently, you're supposed to wait a little later, though.
Yeah, I tried.
You had to sneak it.
It's actually in
Well, I mean, if you go to Austin or San Antonio, then it's just. Well, I'll tell you what, that bad shit. But you want to drive that.
I know I did good. Oh, yeah. Like, okay, I've done really good. Somebody else wants to wear it. I didn't want to.
bike is there. I feel it.
That's what I plan on doing after
Just friendly.
And she's been in the water and
Well, I don't know that she's just doing real estate, but I know she is doing real estate.
Trixie. There you go, good job.
That's been traveling.
On my Insta.
But I don't know if
Looks like you're going to be getting this event from the very beginning. Isabella still our skier. This will be her first pass. 22 off the tow line. 34 miles an hour. 16 meters. Around 6 miles and out the gate. Starting entirely a minor course adjustment, setting down. And they'll bring that over a little bit for 28 off the total.
touching me. Yeah.
They fight, man. I got
Something bit me on my ear yesterday when I was sitting over underneath the tree and I was bleeding like crazy. Yeah.
Okay. Now we know one more nose going.
Yeah,
That was a Canadian one.
That sucks.
Sorry.
I've been on several boats.
Off the line. A nice setup around one line. Let's see right on that. Let's give you the little practice time to warm her up. Nice and around 6:28 off the line. Keep in mind that the best score from yesterday was 4 buoys at this 13-meter tow line length. So once again, she's going to be looking for 6, hopefully to be able to put some pressure on some of the other skiers that are seated a little bit higher, including Kennedy Hansen, Alexander Garcia, and Louisa Carmelo. The best score from yesterday was 2 buoys at the 11.25 meter tow line, which is 38 off, and that was Louisa, who is the top seed today after that performance.
We don't even get through Dallas.
like she went a little bit down course at 1, trying to make up a little bit at 2, but she still remained down course at 3. Was not able to get over the 4 ball, which due to her performance yesterday. International Girls Division, number 2 skier off the dock. She was the number 2 seed yesterday, but again, we've got to keep in mind that the objective yesterday is a little bit different from the objective today. Yesterday, these skiers were trying to get into the top 4 to get into the finals, and you'll see that in many, many situations where skiers will really not ski to their potential because their objective again is to just get into the final. But right now, Kennedy Hansen, our number 2 skier, off the dock. 22 off the tow line. Playing a little bit of wind situation here. Came out very, very strong, 28 off. She sort of took that very, very easily. So you're trying to say that you think these girls and guys there want to look around yesterday they just were saved trying to get into the finals and say, it's like, all right, this is the show right now, let's go play down with a big score. That's kind of what you're alluding to. Why, yes, Chad, it is. That's exactly what I was alluding to. There's going to be a lot of big scores today. Kennedy's on the water looking good, strong out there as always. Really big score today. Go home happy. Like all these years, we'll be go home happy. Kennedy Hansen on the water, 2:38 is her best, apparently. So she should definitely be well enough to put some serious pressure on these years yesterday. 2 is at 38 off Louisa on the low. So right now, Kennedy's coming off, 28 off, getting a little bit aggressive. Maybe she's playing a little bit of wind. She's going to take a 30 tailwind, 35 headwind. Good thinking, Kennedy. And maybe get a couple blues or more at 38. All right, here we go. She's up on the water. Kennedy dropping in for a gate. Gates out there around 1. Nice around 1. Keeping that line tight in the backside. 2, pulling the 3, maintaining her body position. Really carving that ski around each and every buoy. Keeping the line tight, maintaining the body position. 32 off goes down. There you go, our new leader, Kennedy Hansen. Oh, nice call, Chad. Chad Hunter, our announcer up here, along with myself. We're going to have a nice time today, and hopefully we'll be able to be on the mic most of the day together. Kennedy looking real well. Looks like she had a little bit of hesitation maybe out at around 3 ball that didn't affect her mentally. She just stayed into it. She said, hey, this is not an issue, you know. Just a minor hesitation there, and a lot of time that will take some skiers out mentally, but she just stayed right back into it. By the time she was 5, she was back on time, and easily around 6 and out the gate, 35 off the tow line. The thinking Kennedy is going to take a little bit of this headwind into 35 off because she knows she's got to run this to be able to challenge that 2 at 38, best score from yesterday. She knows that Louisa is sitting there on the dock, and they have the opportunity to spend some time together occasionally. So, you know, she's got the mark out. And, so here she goes, Kennedy Hansen, into the course here in just a moment, 35 off, 12 meters.
All right, here we go. Kennedy up on the water, getting ready for a 12-meter line pass, 35 off. She's ran this and got 2 at 38, so she's got a personal best through this line. See how she does. She draws the 38 out there around 1. Really good turn on 1 over 2. Waiting on 3. Over in 3 over 4, getting that body back. Nice 4 early and wide at 5, bringing it at 5 over to 6. And 35 off goes down. Kennedy Hansen, 12 meters.
Came off the dock well, actually she came off the dock yesterday at 14 meters as well, so this is her normal starting length. It would have been interesting to see, had the wind been in a different direction, if maybe she had backed it down, but she's going to take the, and obviously did take this 35 into the headwind, and really took advantage of it. So I am really looking for something beyond 2 ball here at 38 off the tow line. Our skier, Kennedy Hansen, I think she's got to be sitting down in the water right there. She said, man, I got a tailwind, I've got to be extremely precise, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to get out there at 3 and maybe push my personal best out a little bit. The conditions are incredibly awesome today. I'm going to do this all day, hopefully. So here she is, though, Kennedy Hansen, coming back in 38 off the tow line. Chad, what do you think about this?
I think it's awesome. I think it's super awesome. It's great. But right now, Kennedy on the water in the personal best territory, 38 off, pulling out nice and wide on her gate. Get ready to drop in, slowing that ski down, dropping in nicely out there around 1. A little narrow 1, but still able to get outside of it. Bringing it to 2, standing up. Good safe score for Kennedy, 38 off. Big round of applause. Putting up a big score. That's going to be interesting seeing what's to come. We got Allie Garcia coming up next. I think she's got her personal best, 2:38. And then we got Louisa coming after that, and she did. Wow, already. Great tournament. We got Mama she's smiling. That's my baby girl. Look at her. Look what she did. And you know, there is a little bit of a headwind, but it's nothing major. It's just enough to benefit the skiers here. Like the tailwind doesn't affect them as bad, in my opinion. Them gas knowledge of the slalom in the end. You know, the wind slows them down in the head, and then the tailwind pushes them a little bit. But it's not too bad. What do you think, Jeff Rose?
Well, the wind is definitely a factor, and this is not a great, big wind, but, the skiers, if they've been on the water long enough, and especially into the line length that they're skiing, they know what's going on. And a lot of people that ski with me, I said, a headwind is kind of for football players. You just got to kind of pull along and not think about it much. But a tailwind, is for the scholar type. You're not really backing off on your pulls. You're doing it just like you would if there wasn't any wind at all.
but all your movements have to be precise. And right here, you know, we've got Alexander Garcia coming off the dock yesterday. She came off at 16 meters. She's coming off at 16 meters again today. She has the ability to run into the 38, and just over the past couple of years, she has been absolutely, to me, incredible. The way she just bumped up, fired up, training hard, got a great crew behind her, so it's really taking advantage of that. Easily around 6 to 22 off the toe, so it's good I can at 28 off, 14.25 meters, here in just a minute, take a 32 headwind, and you never know, maybe she took that 35 tailwind and maybe have a little advantage coming back in with a 38 right hit. It's really turning out to be obviously the best event so far today. Oh, my goodness, it's only the first event.
And what an event it is. We've already moved through 2 skiers, got them into 38 off, and here we go, Allie's coming back. She's, like you said, playing the wind here, so it sounds like she's setting up a 38 off headwind, wanting to put that score out there a little bit. Let's see how she does here. She comes back in at 28 off, 14.25 meter line. That's the yellow one. Yeller. Oh, Yeller. All right, she's up and out on the south end of the lake, going around the island right now as we speak, getting ready to come in for her 28 off pass. She'll be pulling out to the left and then pull to the right, go around the buoy, pull to the left and right. She does this multiple times here.
That would sound like you last night, right? You know, pull it to that, right. What she was. All right, 14.25, into the gate, 28 off the toe line. Allie Garcia. All right, Allie, round 3, on the 4 nicely around. Waiting on the
turn goes out the gate. And yes, that was me last night, and yes, I am hurting today. I'm not 18 anymore. Who needs CrossFit? We can go to the USS Alabama and have a throwdown. That's good enough for a week. Allie looking good out there. She's running her pass number 2, 28 off. She'll be coming back in 32 off, but looks like the wind's died some, so may not be much of a factor at all today. At times.
That was a lot of fun last night, being on USS Alabama. Went there years ago when one of my sons was Cub Scout. We got to spend the night on that, so that was fun, and we didn't do a whole lot of dancing at that point.
Well, when you was on it, it was still active duty, right? It was you was in the Pacific with it, wasn't you? That's why you weren't dancing. You was probably dodging bullets coming at you and stuff.
Man your station, man your station. That's all I remember from those days. 32 off the toe line, and I think Alex is going to take advantage of this headwind. I think, you know, looking back on that 22 off the toe line length, I think maybe for just a moment she might have forgotten that she had a little bit of a tailwind as she went around 2-ball, and but snapped right back into it. But right now, 32 off the toe line, 19 out of 1-ball. Right there. And of course, a little bit of precision is absolutely perfect right there. Love her action around the buoy. Her knees are soft, she's strong. 32 off, nicely done. Alexandra Garcia.
And that was awesome watching her because she just stands with the she's coming around, hooks up with the line, she's tied, stands up and moves the ski out like a living. It's not an accident. It's not like she's accidentally out. The girl just knows what she needs to do it, and it shows on that pass that she stroked 32 off.
You know, watching her ski out there kind of made me a little bit reminiscent of Wade Cox. I remember the first time I ever saw him when he was about 15 or 16 years old. And, you know, he was so soft in the knees, and Alex is skiing like that. Once she comes around, I mean, she's not compressing at all, but her knees are so soft, and the ski is really responding to her like that. She's definitely taking advantage of her body position right there. Upright position, absolutely no movement, and her knees are really allowing that ski to do what it's designed to do. 35 off the toe line coming up here now in just a second. Three and a half throughs yesterday at 12 meters. So she's got to stroke this now, and this has got to deal with what was a tailwind, but now it's all gone away. So she's got absolutely perfect conditions. I hope she realizes that that's kind of gone away, and it's going to work to her advantage here, especially at the 12-meter toe line.
All right, here we go, Allie up on the water. Nice and wide for a gate dropping in. Oh, nice turnaround one. She set this up big boom. Reaching for a little bit of two out there around 3 knots. Really in this over the 4. Work a little bit over to 6. Able to hang on, and out the gate she goes with the fist bump. Allie running 35 off, our second skier of the day to move into the 11.25 rope length. Allie, she played that perfect. If this wind picks up just a little bit, she might have a slight breeze at 38. Let's see what she can do here.
That really was incredible, Chad. Out there at 2 balls, she really wasn't quite on time, but she didn't overreact to it and try to make anything up drastically out of 2 ball. She just stayed into it and gained a little bit at 3, a little bit at 4, and it looked like she was going over there for a 6 ball. She was a little bit ahead, so she's really working it through the weight in her pull. She ran at 35 magically, so really excited that she's going to have a little bit of a headwind now as the wind is kicking back up. I don't know if she realized, but sometimes I can get back up and when I'm coming back into a course and I can sense a wind change, and so more than likely she's going to be able to do the same and say, she's going to come out on her account and she says, I feel a little bit of a headwind here. I can be a little aggressive here. She's got to get past that number 2 ball to edge out our current leader, Kennedy Hansen, 2 at 38 off.
All right, here we go. Allie up on the water, 38 off, getting ready into the gate. Hit on the back of the 1 of the field. Going what she needs to do. 38 off, Allie Garcia. That is high. Okay, so she got 2 38 off for Allie Garcia. So decent gate, and then she turned 1 and really got on the back of it. She might have a little bit of speed, and got on the back of it. The field was, I was thinking about her 35 off pass, how it was obvious she knew that she could run. Some of the less experienced skiers would say, oh, I'm in trouble, and not know to stay patient, go quiet, go do what you need to do to run the pass. That's what she did there at 1. She said, okay, this isn't a great 1, but I know that I can get 2. So she was patient, got back on it, get outside of 2, and then just S turn, get back to weights, and get a full 2, and challenge Kennedy to lead.
Around 1 ball, she kind of stood on the back of her ski a little bit. Maybe she didn't think that she was slowing down quite enough for her. But then when she dropped that ski back in, I think she realized that she's got to get 2. And then she got out there around 2 ball and realized that she can't get out there and some kind of a runoff right here and hopefully perhaps it's to the top spot. So she knew she had to get back there and definitely got back to the boat path, well before the next cut gates. So 2, and so she's sitting out there tied with Kennedy Hansen. So there's going to be a runoff situation building right here. So now we're down to our last skier in this. In the finals, Luisa Jaramillo, and she knocked out a 2 at 38 yesterday, so she realizes she's got to get past that 2 ball and a little bit of a touch of 3 and perhaps even more. She came off the dock yesterday, 28 off the toe line. More than likely, we'll do the same today, and that way she'll have that
that 35 headwind, if it still maintains. It's kind of coming and going. But right now, we're last skier, Louisa Harmelo.
All right, Louisa coming in at 14-meter line 28 off, getting ready for her first pass of the day. Swinging out now wide, standing all over that, keeping that handle down, really building into the wing regress. Early in line, three really strong skiers. She'll finish up there around 5. Bringing it to 6, out the gate she goes, 28 off, nice easy pass for Louise. No sweat, so what's the just enough with a little ripple on the water. Awesome.
She ran that so gently, it just seemed like that was a walk in the park for her. And noticing her upper body position, she was, every time that hooked back up to the road, she was just solid. A lot of nice angle, very easily around the buoy. Coming back in here in just a moment, 13-meter toe line, 32 off, realizing that she's got to get out to and be on 2-bar 38, 11.25-meter toe line. So she's got 2 more passes that she's got to make to be able to attack our leaders sitting out there with 2 buoys at 38 off the toe line. Ali Garcia, Kennedy Hansen, outstanding skiing. But that's huge. I look forward to watching Louisa put some pressure back on them, and you know they're watching. 30 off the toe line, 15-meter toe line. Come and go tailwind. Nice kind of rotation on that. Countering extremely well, even on an offside easily around 6 off. Now at the gate, 32 off the toe line, 13 meters. She'll be right back in. It's easy as she ran that right there. She says, 35 is going to be a piece of cake, and I'm going to go deep 38.
Oh, that's awesome. She got 2 at 38 yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So she's going to have to push that score out there to take the victory here today. And she can do it. She's capable of doing it. She set this up. They're coming back in 35 off 12 meters. We got Kennedy and Allie 2 at 38. So I'm assuming a runoff for second and third. I'm assuming, or first. We'll see right here in a little bit. Who knows? If Louisa times what she had yesterday, it's a three-way runoff. For first, second, and third.
And we've got to keep in mind, with these 2 skiers that are tied at 30 off the time, they'll have to come off the dock at 35 off. There's a little bit of headwind picking up just a touch right here. Louisa Harmelo, 35 off the window. She's got to get through this one. She's pretty strong out there. 2 for 1 ball. Right there. Again, it's not affecting her. She is right back on time at 3. Another little hesitation right there at 4. But easily around 6 at the gate, 35 off the toe line.
That was great. And that was easy.
She's just very strong out there. 2 for 1 ball.
I just found out that the only runoff they have is the first place. They're doing WWE. And if there's anything after that, it goes back to the preliminary score. So, you was talking earlier that we just, the preliminary is just to try to get into the finals. But this is one of those situations where you really want to put up a big score in the prelims. Because if you get in a runoff situation, it goes back to that score. So I guess every pass you ski is really important.
And as you mentioned, going back to the first round, so the first round of Ali Garcia was 3.5 at the 12 meters, and Kennedy Hansen was 3 at 12 meters. So Ali has either first or second locked up right now, depending strictly on what we said here. She's got to get past that number 2 ball, 38 off, and then we'll go in. And it's a time first, there is a runoff. So first place runoff. All right, here we go, Louisa, up on the water. Can she get a piece of 3 to take the lead? Can she get outside of 3? No, she can't. Oh, goodness. Well, there's the excitement we got. We've got a 3-way runoff for first place. So each one of them coming out at 35 off right here in the next few minutes left.
Oh, that was so exciting. And, you know, she came around 1 ball, and she has such an incredible 1 ball. I said, wow, she might even go deeper than 3 ball on that one. But she took it kind of gentle around 2, and then lost a little bit of angle, and wasn't even close to get to 3. That was a major surprise as well as she entered the course, and her 1 ball is absolutely, from my perspective, perfect.
So they're hearing all the comments. I've had that situation where I
turn 1 and I'm like, oh, this is it. I'm going down the line. This is it, you know. And then you get a little strong, a little heavy, a little long into 2 to be safe, and then you're a little fast at 2. And she looked like she might have been a grunt fast, and that's why she was a little bit careful trying to make sure that ski carved around. But I agree with you. When she turned 1, I was like, she's going down the line here. So what a start. But, you know, we are where we are right now, which is exciting because now we have more skiing to happen. We got 3 skiers coming out at 35 off in a runoff for first place here at the Junior U.S. Open.
They just get together and decided who would be first off the dot. That's pretty incredible, and that definitely takes the the heat off of Kennedy and Ali, and they've got another shot for the number 1 position here. So this is great. Coming off the dot, 35 off. This is exciting. I'm gonna grow up. I'm gonna be like a girl in the future.
Man, I agree. These girls are just killing it. They're just dominant. Awesome to watch. You know, if I could be like a girl, I'd be happy. Especially a girl.
Tobias Georges, Noah McCormick, Rebecca Romero, Lucas Strange.
Okay, look. She'll be number 2.
and Kennedy Hansen will be third off the dock. A bit of an advantage to Kennedy for sure, you know, depending on what their performances are, but Ali Garcia comes off at 35 off the tow line. This is incredible that we get the opportunity to watch these young ladies again coming in and showing their power and finesse at 35 off.
Jasmine Gagner, the boat judge, and kudos to that group as they called our reminder to pick up earlier this morning, and Jasmine with her, you know, vast knowledge and support that got that taken care of. And now we're getting ready to come back to our runoff, which is kind of, they got to come off the dock and 35 off. So it's in their record at the head. And it hasn't been that long since they skied, so they still should be kind of loose, ready to do this runoff set here.
That was a nice point you made right there. They haven't been off the water long. You know, a lot of nationals and such, you know, with some of the larger events, sometimes these guys will, and girls will have to come off the dock hours later, and that's pretty amazing. Just the fact that they hang out to see if there is a runoff, what a difference that is to come off at your second best, you know, line length that you're accustomed to getting to, and then you've got to come off all of it and do that right off the dock. And that's what we've got right here with Ali Garcia going off the dock, 35 off the tow line.
So, you know, and we talk about the delay between a runoff, like nationals or something. I was skiing at the Ball of Spray Cash Prize
about 10 years ago, and I was skiing, and then I won my run, and then I had those two opponents, and we went back to back, and they said, well, let's give this man a bite on the break, you know. So I was like, Trent, what do you want to do? He said, I'm going off at 35. I said, I'll do it too. And people like, Trent went off the back at 35 off, and he just, wow, that was awesome. And I'm like, I just skied. It's just like a practice, just another set, you know, I had a few minute break, but the story now is, went off the back at 35, well, so it does matter, you know, if the long way, it can affect you a little bit, but these guys haven't had that long anymore, so hopefully they'll all be in this and put up big scores, and we'll fix this ceiling situation we've got going on. We got to keep the rules and strict and she knows what's doing it. She's doing what she's doing. Good shape. Awesome. Good shape to keep on. Looks like she's really organized and keeping these rules perfectly good. Looks like she's going to be strong at the bad line. And she's going to big the 6 ball, and she is out around 6 and out the gate, and she is following up. Incredible. Off the clock and down into the position. Like I said earlier, that's just that experience. She knew what she needed to do. She had to do something announcement.
And then she went down the line, you know, she got a little bit of trouble. When she turned 5, it's like, I've got to go to work. She had to go to work. Went to work, did what she needed to do, turned 6, hang on to that slack, go out the gate, fist pump.
beginning of August is when you can like submit it. Yeah. Yeah. I did it the very first now. Are you going through a project?
Oh,
No,
dang it.
I already had it. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that Sean?
Oh, looks like we got a microphone back. That's nice. Anyhow, Allie really looked like she had a nice one ball right there. I really thought she was going to be in a pretty good position at two ball, but hesitated a little bit, and this was enough to get back to the wake. But I know that I could tell just by her response out of one ball that she was looking for something deeper. Right now, it's our 35 off. Louisa Carmelo, she's got to run this to get out past that two ball at 38 off the toe line to edge our currently Allie Garcia at 38 off the toe line. I'll tell you what, she's had that 35 very, very nice. Looks like she's going to come out a little bit more aggressive this time. To me, with the tailwind 38 off the toe line. I don't think she's going to settle for two buoys this time. And of course, it's the first time I thought you had such an outstanding one ball that she was going to go well beyond three. That wasn't going to be the case. Somehow stood up a little bit at a two in the first one. But I think she's going to be looking a little bit further as she makes her way down around two ball and perhaps going to see maybe compete 11.25 toe line here to see as well as she ran that 35 off. That was way too easy. She's going to be coming out strong. A little bit of a tailwind, but I don't think that's going to affect her at all. She's going to got to be real precise, especially at two, to get that finish. Hopefully we'll see some deep 38 right here. Louisa on the water, number 2, skier off the dock in the runoff in the International Girls.
All right, Louisa back up on the water, 38 off, getting ready to go. And the crowd coming around the island right now. All right, can she get a piece of 3? Does she better the score? Does she tie the score? Let's find out right here in just a second. Our second skier in the runoff to come out, runner 35 off into 38. Right now, Louisa, big turnaround 1 over to 2. Standing up around 2. Can she get outside of 3? Just inside of 3, man. This is, oh, great skiing here. Louisa, another tip for 1. And it looks like she had a better pull to 2. It looked like she was going to be nice. Even when she turned 2, I was like, there's a lot of angle. And then that ski just turned right back, skied right at the buoy.
I'll tell you, you called that precisely right there because she was out there nice at 2 ball. Got a lot of angle out there, and then as she approached the wake, it just that ski just seemed to be losing her angle out there at 38 off, and it wasn't going to be, you know. And I think she realized by the time she got into the wake nicely that she was going to be short for 3 ball. So I tell you, it's going to leave the door open a little bit. We got Kennedy Hansen, our top. Somewhat seed skier here. She gets the advantage of being able to go out last. She's going to have a nice go-ahead win for 35. And knowing she's got to go large. She's got to do better than she's ever done before to take this win. So this is going to be interesting how this fills out. If she's not able to get past that 2 ball again, you know, we got a potential runoff again for the number 1 spot.
But I was she told me she was coming Sunday night. I was like, oh, we are too. We should meet up. And she was like, yeah, I'll try to. I know. Oh my God.
No more. We put it in.
But she's driving.
And then we'll start it back. Start it back.
I think they flew to Texas and they're driving.
All right, skier number 3, Kennedy Hansen, on the water, 35 off. Wind working out nicely here. So let's see how far down the line she goes. Can she get better her score? 2 at 38. Dropping in for the gate out there around 1. Nice turn around 1, top line. Equally around. oh yeah, look at this. Kennedy, 35 off the dock. Out the gate he goes. And this is fun. We're going to find out. I'll talk to our two guys in a minute. What happens if we continue that run? Do it 38, do it 38. So we come off
That just means if any of these young ladies come up and address you or me, we know to get ma'am. That's what we do. You know, we brought up Southern, and we respect the authority that is being laid out there before us. These girls coming off the dock at 35 off cold, relatively, and going out there and flowing through 35. Kennedy's 35 off right there. She was so in control. Had a very, very minor hesitation at one ball, so on time at 2, and then it just locked into her rhythm right there. And against big ball was great at 35 off the cylinder. She's going to be looking for a PB here. She apparently has a personal best prior to now, which she equaled today is to a 38. She's going to try to get out there to 2 balls and just get a touch of 3. Let's see what Kennedy does. She is back up on the water, coming around that island, 38 off the toe line. That's 0.25 meter tow road.
All right, that boat's coming around the island as we speak, getting up into the course. Kennedy getting ready to come in, 38 off, needs a piece of 2. She needs 2 or better to win. Let's see how it goes. Kennedy out there around 1. Big turnaround, 1 over 2. Oh! Let's see what the judges say. Okay, 2. So 2 of the judges favor 2, so it looks like we're going to have another runoff here all 3 years.
Now, if I remember correctly, they're going to have to come off the dock if they have another runoff at 38 off the tow line. Every time they go do this, they're going to just shorten the line length. So they're going to come off not very cold, but relatively cold at 38. So they're all going to have a little bit of the advantage of the headwind, which is not there right now, as it comes and goes on us this morning. Okay, looks like the run order, Luisa, is going to be off the dock. Kennedy Hansen will be off the dock second, and then Ali Garcia, the third, off the. And keep in mind, they're going to come off 38. Okay, once again, Luisa is going to be coming off number 1. Kennedy will be the number 2 skier off the dock, 38 off. And then Ali Garcia will have the last slot. So she'll know exactly what she's got to do. I'm sure they're not thinking about the wind. It's somewhat gone away, but it comes and goes. So let's keep a mind on that. Our skier is dropping into the water. Luisa coming off now, 38 off the tow line. Immediately, if we ever get finished with this event, it's just incredibly exciting to be able to see these young ladies come up here and just blow through 35 off the tow line off the dock. But right now, Luisa, 38 off the tow line. Looks like the judges will move 2 moves but not standing anymore for Luisa. They'll bring her back to the dock. It looks like the gauntlet is being consistently thrown down on that number 2 ball at 38 off 11.5.
All right, so, hey, they're consistent. You can't ask for much more. And I think this is TV territory for all three ways. And so to get 2 at 38, 2 at 38, another 2 at 38. This is awesome. I'm anxious to see what happens here as Kennedy Hansen's getting ready to come back again.
Good job.
And our next scheduled skier coming off the dock, 11.25, 38 off, will be Kennedy Hansen. So once again, same story, different set here, different pass. She needs a piece of 3 to take the victory. So she's going to have to get, she's getting a good enough start. She's going to have to let that ski finish and then come back to a tight line so she can get 3.
See how she does here. All 3 of them are all over, running deeper down the line. It's just that mystical 2 ball. All 3 skiers left foot, do you know?
All right, Kennedy Hansen now around the aisle, 38 off the toe line. I'll tell you what, I don't think they need to leave the door open for Allie because I think Allie can kind of focus on things. But right now, Kennedy Hansen into the gates, 38 off down course, but she's out there. She is around 2, and again going for 2. Again, this is a possible, really a nice situation for Allie. I'm really excited to see what Allie does on this pass right here because she realizes she's got to get over 2 3 balls. She's got to have a decent one, got to get out to be able to at least finish 2 ball to get a piece of number 3. I think Allie is going to be really focused on that number 3 ball and perhaps not go extremely hard at 1, but maybe set herself up to get a great 2 ball and get a piece of 3 because that's what it's going to take. All she needs is a quarter buoy, and she will win the International Girls of the 2018 Junior U.S. Open. This is incredibly exciting.
Man, this morning when you woke up, did you think we was going to come into this? I thought, okay, let's go announce International Girls. It'll move on. We'll cross somebody. But good Lord, this is the first event, and here we are already. And this is the 3rd runoff. Third runoff. It's just crazy. It's insane. And we got so much more skiing to go. This is going to be an awesome day. It's shaping up to be a great junior opening here at Ski Chase Lake in Axis, Alabama. Oh man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
This is incredible. I'm really excited for Allie right now. Alexandra Garcia getting ready to come off the dock. She realizes that the window is kind of open. She doesn't have to run 35 off the dock. All she's got to do is get over to 3 ball at 38 off the toe line to be the champion right here. I think Allie is becoming not only an incredibly stylish skier and form-wise and all, but I think that she's mentally dialed into this, and I think that she's been sitting out there thinking. She said, "I've got to get a reasonably decent 1 ball. It doesn't have to be perfect. I've got to be able to get over to 2 well enough to finish and get that angle just enough to get 2." And outside a 3 ball and take this win home. And I think she's thinking about that. She's semi come out of kind of nowhere. In the past 2 years, her performances have just skyrocketed. So we're really excited to watch this. Allie Garcia on the water now.
You know, part of the reason they skyrocketed is the girl has devoted herself. She's worked her backside off trying to get here. She's and this final runoff, hopefully the final runoff, 38 off, needs a piece of 3, bringing it around 1 over to 2. And she knows it. She knows. She's like, dang it, dang it, dang it, I wanted a piece of 3. I think at this point we're going to start seeing these skiers, if they're even close to 3, I think they're going to throw that ski outside there.
What are we going to do here?
There's nothing in IWF rules, there's nothing in the fact. We're probably going to go up there. How do you vote on that? How do you vote? You got it. You got it. What is it, up in speed?
Up in Roseland.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Go to 39.
Come off of 39.
All right, so another 3-way tie. All 3 skiers getting 2 at 38. I'm anxious to see what happens here. Are they going to shorten the rope? I know some of the judges are discussing that right now, come out at 39, and let's make a winner emerge.
And the chief judge currently now is polling the judges to determine how we want to do this. To and the option is to increase the length, to do what are we going to do. So our chief judge Bob Harris is polling the judges for this right now, and we'll give you that information here in just a moment. Because more than likely they're going to come off the dock at 39.
Jasmine has a point. These girls have never been there before.
Yeah, they not in a tournament, right?
And we have to keep in mind, if they do come off the dock at 39.5 off, that's 11.25, or excuse me, 10.75 meter tow line. They've never been there in a tournament. Perhaps in practice they might be spending some time there just to kind of get used to it, so when the day comes that they run 38 in a tournament, it won't be totally brand new. But I know that these skiers have at least in practice been there, and I'm sure they realize that they've really got to have a great gait and an awesome approach for one ball just to get out there to it. They've got to advance on the boat so far that it makes it a little bit closer. So a little bit, especially with the girls. Kennedy is probably the shortest of the 3. She's going to have to work it, even more efficiently. So it's going to be interesting to see this develops and how they come off.
They say anything yet?
They're
still.
A lot of people saying no.
So they're just saying come off 38 again?
Listen to that. I'm listening. And he's right there. I'm watching. They're going to go out at 39. They're going to do a draw. Oh.
You're complaining, obviously.
No, he's just saying think about the safety side of it, because they've never been at 39.
Yeah. They need to go out at 39.
I'd go out at 38.
Huh?
I'd go out at 38 again.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually somebody's going to miss 2, or somebody's going to get a piece of 30.
Yeah, they need to go out 39.
39?
And then wrap this shit up. Whoever gets outside of one ball wins.
Yeah, eventually one.
It's only half a meter, man.
Right. I mean, I can get to a 39. You know. I can't go past that.
You can't. Well, you can't get all 6 3 off in 38.
I know,
I
right?
Get to a 39,
I can get
yeah.
to a 39. If I get to 39, I can get to a 38. I can get to a 38.
When I'm pissed off about my men 5 record, this is the line. Looks like we're going to get this runoff continuing here. The judges had to confer and determine how we're going to run this. And the options were to either come again off the dock at 38 off or shorten the total length. And through some nice discussion right there, they have decided to come off the dock at 38 off the tow line. Allie first, Infinity. Allie is the #1 skier off the dock. Should be followed by Kennedy Hansen and Louisa. And so she's kind of following a little closer to the original seating process, so that Louisa's going to have the advantage again, like from the very first time they ran that, to perhaps push it down the course a little bit. We've got to keep in mind that this is the third runoff. So, they're feeling, that they've been having to go wide open, and they've got to be at their max at the gate. So, anyway, here we go. Run off again. Hopefully somebody's going to be able to take the lead on that, because they seem to be hovering around that #2 dot, 38 out.
I'm anxious to see these overall skiers, how this affects them, because running your slalom, then you run a runoff, and then another runoff, and another runoff. How's it going to affect them later on in trick and jump? But right now we're getting ready. Allie coming out at 38 off. Getting ready to go. The judges had a lot of deep discussion on whether to go 38 or 39, and there was some safety concerns there because a lot of these skiers have never been to 39, so Bob made a decision to say, let's go back 38 and see if we can get a winner here. But right now, Allie on the water out there around 1. Oh, just inside of 1, losing their handle. Oh. Some absolutely incredible skiing right there with Allie coming out there and apparently coming off a little short, maybe 1 ball, and is disappointed in herself.
understandably so, but you got to keep in mind they've been out there for quite a while, you know, and coming off and wide open right there. Superb performance, and really looking forward to having the opportunity to watch Alexandra Garcia over the next several years, because she really is on fire.
You know, I really hate that for Allie, but like you said, they've been out there a long time, and it's a lot of mind games where they're like, who's first, who's second, who's third? Oh, goodness, we tied again. We got to go out again. Are we going out at 38? Are we going at 39? And great skiing for Allie, though. Great skiing today. It's just awesome. But, you know, I think this shows that Bob made the right decision here to go back at 38. You know, we're all discussing it. Should we do 39? Should we do 38? But fatigue comes into play here. And then the mind game and everything else. So, you know, it just goes to show that anything can happen in these runoffs. But Allie skied a great tournament. Kudos to her. I hate that for her there at 38, but, you know, this will make her stronger. This will make her want it more and go out there and work hard and take it to that next level, which she's on the path to do.
Okay, we are shaking it up a little bit, and incredible, you know, probably one of the best, and this is going to be a slalom event that I remember for a long time to be able to call, and there's, you know, been announcing for years and years, and this is going to stand out, you know, and I've had maybe only one or two that I can recall over all the years that have really been outstanding, and this is right there. This is in the top three for me. The fact that we've got international girl skiers coming out in multiple runoffs over and over, because their level of performance is so close to each other. This is incredible. We'll be talking about this for a long time. Kennedy Hansen now getting very tight. Looks like the rope is tight, and she's going to be back up on the water here. Again, think about this 38 off. She'd really love to get over there and now especially get around one ball. But again, she realizes that Louisa is on the dock. And she's strong. So Kennedy Hansen right now, end of the gates at 38 off. She's trying to go deep again, having a pretty nice one ball. It looks like she's in pretty good shape at two. I'm not sure about if she got over there to two ball. Again, you know, we've got to keep in mind these skiers have been on the water for a while. May not have made. Looks like she did not make two balls, so then the judges do agree, one buoy and not counting anymore. Kennedy Hansen leaving the door open now for Louisa, you know, because she's been consistently strong on her one ball with the 38s that she's been with us this morning, and you know, she looks like she's been consistently going into two balls strong, and I think that, you know, hopefully we'll be able to see that again of our top seed skier, by the way, in this event. And maybe, you know, now that the pressure's off a little bit and she can get outside that number two ball, maybe she'll throw it down and show us a little bit of deep 38. Kennedy Hansen, thank you, you know, these girls for, you know, giving us something that we can remember. And I'll get that boat ready and get Louisa tied up to it nicely, and she'll be into the gates here in just a moment. 11:25, 38 off the tow line, as the girls begin to tire just a little bit. Let's see what Louisa does, and we do recall that she has been our top seed from the very beginning, you know, from performances yesterday, and assured herself. And had set the gauntlet down yesterday at 2 at 38, and has consistently stayed there at it. And then Allie and Kennedy have come up for the call consistently as well. So again, this is exciting, and this will be remembered for a long time.
I can do that. All right, Louisa back up on the water, 38 off. So she's consistently got two. She needs a piece of two to take the victory here. Out there around one, nice one over to two. And she's going to stand this up and just take that victory. There's our 2018 International Girls Champion. Great skiing, man, what a show for these ladies. Thank y'all for doing that and made it exciting for all of us. Made us scratch our noggins some. And from my understanding, I was questioning, okay, we have a runoff for first place. What does that mean for second and third? And I was explained that the runoff determines who gets second and who gets third. So we got Louisa in first, Kennedy in second, Allie in third place. So great skiing out here for these ladies. Awesome, awesome first event.
Yes, again, thank you. And you can see the mindset out there. You know, Larissa understood that she needed to only get around 2 ball, and she went into 2. You know, she's thinking, well, do I go deep? You know, because I'm in really great shape, or just get around 2 ball. And as she got around that, she said, no, I'll just take the win and ease on out of the water and enjoy the rest of the day. Well done, Larissa. Again, what an exciting event this has been. Immediately going into the international boards with Tobias Georges, Noah McCormick, Federico Harmillo, Griffin Strange, and it looks like you know, our champion at the 2018 Junior U.S. Open is Louisa Harmillo, and she'll be followed in the number 2 spot by Kennedy Hansen, as Chad explained that the moment ago, that the runoffs determine all the positions. So Kennedy will be in the number 2 spot and Allie Garcia in the number 3 spot, as they consistently in a slugfest out there at 38 off the toe line. Well done. As I mentioned, immediately going into the International Boys, Tobias Georges, Noah McCormick, Federico Armello, Griffin Strange, and yesterday, let me give you some of the results from their performances. We had Tobias came off yesterday and scored 2.5 buoys at the 11.25 meter tow line length. That's 38 off. We had Noah McCormick coming out there, and he scored 3 buoys at the 11.25, 38. And then Federico also scored 3 at that 11.25, and then Griffin Strange earning the #1 seed position here, scoring 4 buoys at the 11.25 meter tow line length. So that's and that's also the seeding order. Tobias off the dock first, Noah, and then Federico, and then Griffin, and that was based basically on their performances from yesterday. And apparently, of course, mispronouncing something, Griffin's is Stangy. But right now we do have our first skier on the water, Tobias Georges, coming off the dock. It looked like he came off the dock at 22 off the tow line from here. I'll verify that here in just a moment. Easily around 6, taking a nice warm-up. Might be utilizing some head tailwind calculations here. Looking at yesterday's skiing, it looked like Tobias came off the dock yesterday at the 14.25 meter tow line length. So he might be aware a little bit of the head tailwind situation. Yeah, so he's going to take a little bit of a 28 tailwind here, 32 head, 35 tail, but and, it really counts. He's got his 38 into the headwind, taking advantage of that, assuming that it's going to maintain. And of course, I'm sure he realizes, he's been watching that it's coming and going, but it's but when it comes and goes, it's consistently a head tail, and so he's going to have the advantage of taking a slight headwind at 38 off the tow line. So let's see if he, as he thinks about this, obviously he is, he's going to take a 28 right now, into the gates now at 28 off, Tobias, and realize that he's got to go deep 38 to put the pressure on the top seeds. And young and strong, and can ski 10 or 20 passes, so taking these 4, 5, or 6 passes hopefully is not a physical issue by any means. And so he'll be back into the course here in just a moment at 32 off the tow line, 13 meter tow line. Tobias Georges. Tobias on the way now, 32 off the total. He's still warming up now, you know, because he's really not going to go to serious work, 35 and 38 off, and he's anticipating that headwind at 38 and nicely and easily around 6 ball, 13-meter toe line, 32 off the toe rope. We're at 35 off the toe line now. Tobias now 35 off and is taking it, and hopefully an advantage to him because the wind is even kicking up a little bit more right here for this 35. So he's going to have a decent the tailwind right here, but he's not really looking at 35 off. He really wants to. He would love to see this wind stay consistent to what it is right now when he gets to be able to hit the gates at 38 and take advantage of that. Right now, 35 off the toe line. Tobias into the gates now. 35 off the toe line, 12 meters. Very nice position as he makes his way to 2-3 ball. And he's on time and looks like he's in great shape at 5 and not going to be an issue over 2 and around 6 and out the gate. Got a little bit down course, took a little hit out of the gate, but he skied that very, very well. And he could tell, I'm sure, that was a little bit of a tailwind. So if that be the case, he's got what he was looking for. Came off the dock a little bit longer, 22 off the toe line, 16 meters. And now all this thinking is worked out for him. It looks like to me that the wind is staying relatively consistent and actually has even picked up while he's been skiing just a little bit. And so he's going to have that advantage of that headwind at 38 off the toe line. He knows he's got to go deep to be able to put the pressure on the higher seed skiers, but also maybe to have a chance of taking this victory. Tobias Georges on the water. He'll be back into the course in just a moment. 38 off the toe line, 11.25 meters.
It's better when you're back. Because like when
I got to keep it about that far.
When he was running 35, he was back, and as he went down the line, then you got to 6, and then it got muffled. I watched it, which is getting excited.
And our skier's on the water, and he's out on his counter cut into the gates now at 38 off the toe line. Tobias Georges. Oh, having a major turn. He was looking like he's really trying to get set up a little bit prematurely over the 2 ball. Outstanding 35 off the toe line, but just hammered that number 1 ball at 38 off the toe line. So he is in the water a little bit prematurely. He really did think this whole process out nicely, though. Unofficially a half a buoy at 38 off the toe line. With that right there, he leaving the door wide open, needless to say, for Noah McCormick, Federico Armillo, and Griffin Stange.
Hey, I can't pronounce the other ones, but I'm...
And we are really having a nice time down here at Ski Chase in Axis, Alabama, at the 2018 U.S. Junior Open, where we having the opportunity to see international girls and international boys ski before us. These are the international is boys and girls are 17 and under, and then the junior skiers, the junior women and junior men, are 18 plus, having some outstanding performance already. Earlier today, we had 3 runoffs just to determine the number 1 position in the international girls event, with Luisa Jaramillo pulling off the number 1 position finally, and to outstanding performances. We had a runoff of 3 of the girls, and each of these coming off the dock and running 35 off the tow line, off the dock, and then consistently tying again at the 38 tow line length, 11.25, and then they had to have another runoff again, and we just finally wore them out where they just couldn't ski down the lake anymore. But Luisa was able to edge out that one finally. Right now we're down to our number 2 skier off the dock, Noah McCormick, 28, coming off the dock at 28, more than likely what he did yesterday. And he's just out there waiting on that super kind of rotation and just waiting for that ski to come around, hooking back up. Needless to say, 28 was easily around 6 and out the gate. A warm-up pass from Noah McCormick. Noah is here with his family, older brother Cole, who is skiing in the junior men event later. Had an outstanding performance of, I'm thinking maybe 4 buoys or maybe 4.5 at 39. I can't remember exactly what that was, but outstanding performance. So he's going to be the number 1 seed later today, along with some of the other, 3 other skiers. But right now on the water, Noah McCormick, he's going to be back in the water here in just a moment. 32 off the toe, and that's a 13-meter toe line length. He started off yesterday at the 4.25 as well. Unlike Tobias today, Tobias backed it off to 22 off to take advantage of that headwind, and it all came together for him. He just kind of killed the number 1 ball and wasn't able to hang on to that one. But he was thinking about it, and he really set himself up for potential great run at 38 off. Right now, Noah McCormick on the water, 32 off the tow line. That's 13 meters of tow rope for those that, especially that are out there online watching us. It's a green loop. And easily over 2 and around 6 at 32 off. And you got to keep in mind, especially those that are listening to us online, 32 off. Yeah, well, what does 32 off mean? Well, it means 32 off of a normal 75-foot tow line length. So calculate that out. And as you can see, it's getting shorter and shorter. And Noah successfully running 32 off the tow line, the 13-meter tow line. They're going to shorten it up a little bit more, and that's going to be 35 off, taking almost about 3 feet off that line. Actually, about 1 meter. It's a little bit more than 3 feet, bringing in from a 13-meter tow line to a 12-meter. And so calculate that. That again is 35 off a normal 75-foot tow line. So he's sitting out there and he's got to ski the buoys with a 40-foot tow rope. We got to keep in mind that those buoys from the center of the course to the center of that buoy is 37.5 feet. So he's only really got 2.5 feet or so of extra line to be able to get down there. So he's really got to advance himself on the boat nicely, and especially starting at 35 off. And then as the tow lines get shorter and shorter, it's even more critical. Right now, Noah McCormick, 35 off the tow line, 12 meters. Oh, nice set out of one ball.
And he's just waiting out there for two. Again, he is so not on, just amazing. He was so on time coming out of three ball, and then maybe chewed off a little bit more angle than he was anticipating, and it just got too much to be able to hold on to. So unofficially, I would probably say 2.5 buoys at 35 off the tow line. He was such a great position right there, but wasn't able to hold on to that one.
Real quick announcement, we still have t-shirts for sale over here. If you want one, they're $10. Well, buy one, get one free, $20. Oh, and if you're a skier and you have not received your poster, which all the skiers have signed, come on over, get your poster. Those are great things for the future. You'll look back and have remember that person and that guy and that skier and even your signature. So get on over here, buy you a t-shirt, get your poster, and then the Knights of Columbus is back, and they'll be providing food for us in the next little bit.
How are you?
No McCormick in the water now, and our next two skiers are sitting on the dock. Next scheduled skier off the dock, Federico Jaramillo. Keep in mind the number one position currently is Tobias Georgis, coming off with a half a buoy at 38 off the tow line, setting himself up nicely. Definitely a thinking skier. Set himself up nicely for 38 off. It just kind of killed one ball, but still that's the top score that's on the books right now. A half a buoy at 38, 11.25 meter tow line. Federico Jaramillo is now getting in. He's in the water, and that boat is tightening up. And now our top seed skier, Griffin Stange. So we got two more skiers in this division right here. Keep in mind yesterday, Federico ran 3 buoys at 38 off to assure him the number 2 seed position in this. And then our top seed skier ran 4, so therefore he is the number 1 seeded skier. But right now our skier is out and around one ball, 28 off the tow line, 14.25 meter tow rope. Federico. Oh, so solid, so solid. That was pretty amazing show of body position and control yesterday, and I remember him, from yesterday as well, and all the way through his 38 off run, he maintained that total control body position. So well done, Federico. He'll be back in the course here in just a moment. 32 off the tow line, 13 meters of tow rope.
You can't tell. Concessions be ready in about 15 minutes, yeah.
And Chad's sitting over here, he's smelling a little bit of cooking here, and he's telling me, he's not really telling me, the concessions are going to be ready in 15 minutes. He's telling himself that I can eat in 15 minutes. That's Chad Hunter announcing today and yesterday and throughout time.
Can we talk some? Can we talk some?
Jeff, you were absolutely right. 2 salt dogs yesterday. I know you can't tell it with this physique I have, but man, the Knights of Columbus really do a fantastic they really take us out here, so all the people on site go over there, and the people at home, I'm sorry you can't have smell-o-vision because it smells delicious. But right now, Federico back up on the water, 32 off 13 meters. Getting ready to drop in for his gate. All right, there he goes, round one, pulling nicely over to 2. Federico patiently letting that ski carve, building the angle, backsiding 4 over to 5. Easy pass for Federico, no sweat whatsoever. Our 2018 Junior Master Slalom champion on the water. Yeah. Federico really looking good out there as he ran his second pass. He'll be coming back in 35 off. Next little bit.
We started half of 38. Half of 38's lead.
Okay, so we got Tobias Georges in the lead right now with a half buoy at 38 off, followed by Noah McCormick, who got 2.5 at 35. So Federico wanting to run this pass and put up a decent score at 38 off, can run it. So Federico getting ready to 35 off into the wind, just a slight headwind from the starting dock in. All right, here we go. Federico up on the water. 35 off, 12-meter line, blue rope length. Behind that ski nautique. Getting ready to pull out for his gates. Out there nice and tall. Look at that turn in. Man, what a gate. Out there around 1. Big turn around 1 over to 2. Backsiding these buoys. Over to 3. Out there around 4. Nice set at 35. Look at Federico go. As he ran 35 off easily, so now he's in a position to challenge the leader, Tobias Georges, with a half at 38 off right here in just a second.
And if you recall, yesterday he ran 3 buoys at 38 off the tow line. So knowing he's looking for the full pass, he's going to take this 38 into a little bit of a tailwind, and I'm sure he's totally aware of that. So again, his movements are going to have to be very precise. He's not going to pull short, but all of his movements are going to be so precise, going to pulling edge versus a turning edge on his ski. Not going to go light. He's going to go hard. You got to be, intensive with a tailwind. But all your, your mentality is, say, I've got to do all my movements precisely and do them quickly to be able to get to that buoy line a little bit earlier to allow that tailwind not work against me and give me just a little bit, just another moment of time approaching the buoy. Slow down. But right now, and he's going to take this 38 into the headwind. Currently our leader, a half a buoy at 38 off the tow line. Tobias with a half a buoy at 38. And he was thinking about this earlier, and he decided to take 38 into the headwind, and it worked out good for him. But right now, 38 off the tow line, Federico going big for 2-ball, and looks like he's in strong position. Looks like he is just now passing what he did yesterday out 4. Looks like he's going to go for 5, and looks like he may run this course at 6 buoys at 38 off. Not going to happen. Looks like he came up just a touch short. I was really surprised that he wasn't able to get out there and around 6-ball. And the judges do tend to agree. It's 5 buoys, and now not counting anymore, 2 buoys better than yesterday's performance. So well done, Federico. Really coming up for the call. 5 buoys at 38 off the tow line. Currently our leader. As well as he was skiing that, I am really surprised that he wasn't able to get that ski out to and around 6-ball.
It looked like he came out of 5 nicely. Maybe he anticipated it just a little bit and came up just a short for 6. But again, now our leader in this event, Federico Jaramillo, Griffin Stange, our last skier, our top seed skier, but he realizes that he's got to go out stronger. He's got to be stronger than he was yesterday. If you recall yesterday, in the preliminaries, he scored 4 buoys at 38 off, 11.25 meter tow line, and to assure him of the number 1 seed position, which he did, but now he's got to even surpass what he did yesterday to get out there. And keep in mind, Federico working this 38 off in the tailwind, so maybe he was thinking that he'd like to have a little 39 action into the headwind, and surprise. More than likely, Griffin coming off at 28 off the tow line, 36 miles an hour is the maximum boat speed. And look at that sweet extensions on each side. He's out there very, very nicely, and just letting that boat get away from him as he finishes the turning of that ski and getting the angle that he wants, easily around 6 and out the gate. Griffin Stange.
Oh man, great skiing. That's Griffin out there looking good, looking strong, and what a big score put up by Federico. 5 at 38, and just inside of 6. 5 at 11.25. So Griffin's got his work cut out for him. He can run 38. He can. Heck, he's on down the line at 39. I think his personal best is like 5 at 39, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what he does here in the next few minutes. He'll be coming back in 13 meters, 32 off. Mr. Stange, going to be a senior in high school this next year. So he's got a whole another year in the boys division. After nationals, he's got a whole another year. Anxious to see what's to come from this young man, this young buck out there on the water, having a blast. The current boys 2 national record holder. And moving on down the line, boys 3, getting ready to challenge that record in the future. But right now on the water, Griffin Stange, 32 off, 13 meters. Out there through the gates around 1, big turn around 1. He pulls over to 2, really turning his 2-4 nicely over to 3. Moving that ski out, getting them hips up, defending that position, pulls to 6, 32 off, nice, easy warm-up pass for Griffin. No sweat whatsoever. I love watching this kid ski too. He has fun. Yeah, he's good. He's talented. He's gifted, but he just has fun when he skis. Has fun on the water, off the water, enjoying life. So it's good watching Griffin go out there and ski as good as he is right now. 32 off goes down.
All right, Chad, and I'm going to let you have the microphone in a little while. So, lunch is ready, but you can't go. Sorry. I said that was pretty sweet skiing, and if you notice there over 2 ball, I thought he was going to try to go back to 1 ball. After he went around 2, he turned that ski so dramatically that I said, surely he doesn't go back go back around 1 ball, kind of in the opposite direction, but really skiing that nicely. He'll be back into the course here in just a moment. 35 off the tow line. Pretty sweet skiing out there. So, it looks like he's setting himself up nicely. Wind has kind of dropped off, so he may be relatively windless at 38 off. But first of all, he's got to ease through this 35 off, and that definitely should not be an issue. As he's pulling out on his counter, 36 miles an hour, 35 off the tow line. 12 meters of tow rope. And very, very stable all the way through that pass right there at 35 off the tow line, easily around 6 and out the gate. They're going to shorten that tow line, and it looks like the wind is kind of dropping off a little bit. It's very, very slight even when it's there. But as skiers, we tend to appreciate a little bit of wind. It kind of pre-chops the water and really softens it up. You know, I think a lot of us, when we were relatively new skiers, we'd have paid to go out when it's last because it's just so beautiful. But as we've grown accustomed to skiing, sometimes we don't want to be this first skier out in our practice sessions to get to last. We like a little bit of a chop on the water, and sometimes wind gives just a little bit of chop that kind of cuts it, makes this from skiing and able to finish it well. But right now we've got our top seed skier in the International Boys Division, Griffin Stange, coming back in just a moment at 38 off the tow line. That's 11.25 meters of tow rope. And he's got to get out there past 5 ball. That means he's got to get a touch of 6 to be able to be crowned the champion in the International Boys Division right here. Into the gates, 38 off the tow line. Nice set out of 1 ball. Remember, he did 4 yesterday, and a massive turn at 2 ball. I told you about that turn going back to 1. Well, he did it even more that time, and looks like he's coming up short of the victory. He was really going for the kill out there at 2 ball. So it looks like with 5 buoys at 38 off the tow line, Federico Armillo is our champion. Unofficially, I would call that 1.5 buoys. With edged out Tobias Georges with a 1/2 buoy at 38 off. And as I mentioned moments ago, in between the incredible skiing that we get to watch, lunch is ready. The Knights of Columbus are here to serve you. So please take advantage of that and support their cause as well. Immediately going into junior women, Paula Harmillo, our #1 scheduled skier off the dock, Anna Gay, Cassidy Hawkins, Allie Nicholson. Exciting yesterday, watching these girls ski, and so I'm really looking at an elevated performance, even in relationship to our international girls skied earlier that locked up around that 2 buoys at 38 off for multiple runoffs. So looking for a slightly elevated junior women event right here. Paula Harmillo, Anna Gay, Cassidy Hawkins, and Allie Nicholson. Allie being the top seed in this division, and it looks like we've got Paula on the water right now, coming off the dock. I would think at 28 off the tow line. That is correct. 34 miles an hour is our maximum boat speed. And easily around 6 are now out the gate at 28. In yesterday's preliminaries of the junior women, Paula scored 4 buoys at 35 off the tow line, Anna Gay, and perhaps they took a drawing to determine who was going to be first or second off the dock. And then Cassidy Hawkins, who's the number 2 seed in this event right now, scored 4.5 buoys at 35 off the tow line to take the number 2 seed spot. And then Allie Nicholson, just kind of opening up the 38 off tow line length, scoring 4 buoys at 38 off, and definitely Allie having the ability to run 38 and do some damage at 39, and maybe we'll get the opportunity to see that today. As I mentioned, these skiers should bump it up a little bit, just a touch from the international girls, and like with Allie especially, like 4:38 yesterday, bumped it up just a little bit. But right now, on the water, we've got our first skier, Paula Jaramillo. .32 off the tow line. This is not much of an issue. She easily arounds 6 ball at the 13-meter line length. Anna Gay sitting at the dock, anticipating coming off next. Okay, now that was 32 off the tow line. And keep in mind yesterday, in the preliminaries, and also keep in mind that these skiers that are skiing in the preliminaries, their sole objective is to ski their ability, but also ski conservative enough to ensure themselves that they will be in the finals. As we've seen today and in the international girls event, they all basically skied above their performances yesterday consistently, because now it's a little bit of a different objective. They're not looking to try to get into another finals, they're looking for the top spot. And so they skied more aggressively, and their performances increased accordingly. And we've got to keep that in mind here with these young women, that at 35 off yesterday is only a mark that she wants to exceed now. She's working hard a little bit, had a problem there at 1 ball, and it really took a buoy or two before it affected her right there, but she broke a little bit there at 1, and that affected her, and looks like she's not able to even reach her performance from yesterday. So unofficially 3 buoys at 35 off the tow line.
So we're going right into trick, and then we're going to do all the jump together last.
All the jumping, right? Yeah, just like this right here. After the slalom event, we've got junior women right now, and junior men, of course, will follow immediately going into the trick finals with international girls, international boys, junior women, and junior men as well. And then immediately going into the jumping, we got to pick up a little bit and cover what we weren't able to finish yesterday. And so we'll do the preliminaries for junior women and junior men in jumping, and then we'll immediately go to jump finals with the international girls, international boys, junior women, and junior men. So pay attention to schedules, and especially you skiers, make sure that you're where you need to be on time. But right now, Paula Jaramillo now skiing back to the dock, coming up just a touch short of her performance yesterday. Got in trouble, maybe overreacted at 1 ball, but it really didn't take her out until she reached 3 and realized that she was not going to be able to slide over there to that number 4 ball. Anna Gay, next scheduled skier off the dock. She'll be followed by Cassidy Hawkins, and our number 1 seed skier in the junior women event, Allie Nicholson.
So we're going
into this. We're going into tricks.
And again, 14.
That's what I thought
And
I
then,
heard you say.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to jump. Okay.
And it looks like that rope is tight and our skier is up on the water, Anna Gay. And if you call yesterday's performance, 4 buoys at 35 off, and of course she is world famous trick skier, but obviously strong in slalom as well. 4 to assure her position today in these finals. Anna Gay coming off the dock at 28 off the tow line. Easily around 6 and out the gate. Her performance yesterday, 4 buoys at 35 off, which assured her a position along with Paula, and she's going to be looking for a faux pas. You can pretty much count on that, because she realized that she's got to deal with Cassidy Hawkins, who skis consistently, exceptionally well, and more than likely she was laying back as well. Yet yesterday, just to assure herself that she's into the finals, and then Allie Nicholson just hammering it out there at 4 buoys at 38 off, assuring her of the #1 seed position today. Right now, Anna Gay will be back into the course here in just a moment. 32 off the tow line. That's 13 meters of tow rope.
Who was first, second, third up there? I missed it. Thank you, sir. I just wanted to write those down.
Really did enjoy the last event, especially watching Federico hammering that 38 off the tow line length. I thought he was going to be able to get over 2 in around 6, but wasn't able to do it. But right now, Anna Gay, 32 off the tow line, sweetly around 1 ball and 2 ball. And once a skier gets around 1 ball and makes their initial pull toward 2, all they have to do is just maintain that rhythm, and it's theirs as long as they don't change anything. And she easily had a nice gate, nice set out of 1 ball, set into a nice pull over toward 2, and then bang, her timing is set. All she's got to do is just maintain that rhythm, and of course, as you see, easily around 6 ball and out the gate at 32 off the tow line. Anna Gay, her best performance from yesterday. You got to keep in mind, the mindset from yesterday versus today is totally different. These skiers, were looking yesterday to be into the top 4 skiers in their group, so they could move into the finals. And Anna was looking at that, and she, I think she realized even yesterday, because she skied after Paula yesterday, and realized that Paula, scored 4 buoys at 35 off. So to really, 4 would be acceptable. Now she had to deal with 3 other people that could have knocked one of them out, but one of the skiers really didn't come up to their level of performance, and but assured Anna and Paula a position in the top 4 for the finals. That was 32 off the tow line. 13 meters of tow rope. She'll be back in now and taking advantage of the headwind. 35 off the tow line. Oh, down course a little bit, but still she came out well, and she's still strong. And I think she's getting stronger here, and big pull over toward 4 ball, and looks like she's out 2 and around 5, and looks like she's going to go big to 6, and she is around 6 and out the gate. Anna Gay, well done. Good gracious, she really took a hammer pull there earlier in the course, but she just stayed with it. That had to have just sapped every bit of all the energy that she had and strength, and she came up for it and steadily gained just a moment at a time, and by the time she got to 6 ball, she was in pretty nice shape. Easily running 35 off with just sheer determination. Nice job. Anna Gay. And that, you know, definitely brings to the point that of what I was talking about. You know, the whole mindset's different here. You know, they're not looking for saving themselves a spot to ski again later or tomorrow or in another finals. They're looking to put the pressure on the other top seed skiers and hopefully, you know, like in Anna's position right here, she's got to do some damage at 38 off, because she realizes that the next two skiers can also run that 35 off without a problem. Cassidy Hawkins next off the dock, and you know she can do out there. And then Allie Nicholson coming off strong yesterday, just throwing it down like, hey, you know, let's see what y'all can do with this. 4 buoys at 38 off in the semifinals. So Anna knows that she's going to have to get some impressive buoys right here at 38 off the tow line. Anna Gay, and she has already shown us her power. Oh, big turn at one ball. Got a little bit narrow, and maybe that boat was taking that rope away from her just a little bit earlier. Unofficially, a half a buoy at 38 off the tow line. Looks like she got out there maybe a little bit early, and you know, maybe from this perspective, just a little bit, maybe released earlier, and by the time she got to the buoy, looked like maybe the boat was beginning to pull away from her and brought her up on her ski a little bit more than she's probably used to, and then it really made it difficult for her to bring that ski back around and get a good shot for 2-ball. From a great distance, you know, that I'm looking at from here, it just looks like she got pulled up over her ski just a little bit and was only able to score half a buoy at 38 off. But a strong performance right there, especially at 35. And now she's putting the pressure on the next couple of skiers, Cassidy and Allie. So they realize that now that they've got to be into 38 off if they want to have an opportunity to walk away with the championship in this, the 2018 Junior U.S. Open. What an exciting morning it is, needless to say. And it started off with an incredible bang with the international girls having multiple runoffs between the 3 top skiers. That was exciting, a memorable experience, and I'm sure that I'm going to remember this for a long time. It's so exciting to be able to call such events. But right now, Cassidy Hawkins, 28 off the tow line. And I just love her kind of rotation and extension at those buoys as she easily makes her way 2 and around 6 and out the gate. 28 off the tow line. And the judges do agree, 6 buoys and counting. They'll bring a little bit more of the rope into the boat, and she'll be changing from 28 off the 14.25 meter tow line to the 13 meter tow rope, 32 off. So she's got to run this and take a little bit of that headwind 35 and then have some nice action at 38 off to be able to overcome our current leader with a half a buoy at 38 off and Gay. But she realizes that a half a buoy may not cut it with our top seed skier on the dock, Allie Nicholson, who threw it out there at 4 buoys yesterday at 38 off the tow line. Cassidy Hawkins, 32 off. And she's got a unique release. I don't know if you'll notice that, but Cassidy is got a unique style that is all hers. You'll notice that right there, she really hangs onto that rope nicely all the way into the buoy, and then lets the boat take it away from her as it calls for it. Very nice style, and you know, as you're developing your ski style, especially folks that they're watching online, you know, that might be something that you can look at and analyze and try to say, well, why does she do it quite like that? And if you can understand the benefits of how she does that, it allows her to maintain her freedom all the way around the buoy and able to get the angle and position that she wants to do. It's really a nice style, and I really like the way she does that. All right, she is down in the water and waiting there, taking a little bit more of that tow line length, about 1 meter, a little bit more than 3 feet. Now she'll be at 35 off. And it looks like to me that the wind has pretty much dropped off a little bit. The flag is waving well, but over on this side we got a little Alabama flag, but maybe it's just too heavy to really fly much. .35 off the tow line, Cassidy Hawkins, nice wind ball. And notice her release, just right there at the buoy. She does it all right there. So cool, and she was just very, very strong all the way, and this is not going to be an issue too. And around 6, Cassidy Hawkins bumping up those performances from yesterday. You know, like I'm telling you, you know, their objective is totally different. You know, yesterday they're looking for a place in the finals. Today they're looking for the top spot, number 1, the gold in this division. And this is the junior women at the 2018 Junior U.S. Open. Day number 2, what an exciting morning it's been already, needless to say, and we are in the middle of just incredible skiing. Hopefully one of these days I'll be able to grow up and ski like a girl. Cassidy hammering that 35 off the tow line, the 12-meter tow rope, and now she realizes that all she's got to do, you know, to get the number 1 spot is exceed that half a buoy at 30 off. But Cassidy's not thinking of that. She realizes that Allie is out there, and Allie can ski 38 off. And so Cassidy's going to be out there, and she's going to say, well, you know, I'll start with 4 buoys, you know, and then once I go past 4, that will be equal to Allie's performance from yesterday, then I'll just go ahead and go for 5 and 6. You know, she's looking to get out past that 4 ball. You know, that 4 ball is her first goal, to get through there, and once she's out there at 4, then she'll realize that she can put some serious pressure on Allie. But right now, 38 off the tow line, 11.25 meters into the gates, and out there, sweet release again. Down course a little bit and not gonna be. That's 2 buoys. A nice improvement from yesterday, putting the pressure on Allie, but is it going to be enough? Cassidy Hawkins, incredible skiing today from these young women. Appreciate the opportunity to be able to watch this. Nice job. Okay, we are down to our top seed skier in the junior women, and needless to say, Cassidy has set a standard here for our top seed skier, Allie Nicholson. Allie's got to run, you know, almost what she did yesterday in the preliminaries to be able to overcome currently our leader, Cassidy Hawkins. So I'm kind of happy. I mean, that was a nice performance, and picking it up from yesterday, I wanted to go deep. But if it was easy, they'd be calling it wakeboarding. All right, our top seed skier, Allie Nicholson, into the gates now, 28 off the tow line. And note her body position, her upper body position just seems to never change. She almost acts, looking out there, looks like she's about, 6.5 feet tall. I mean, she just stands so tall on her ski. And such a sweet opening pass that was, 28 off the tow line, Allie Nicholson. And the wind's picking up a little bit, turning into a little bit more of a crosswind, which is interesting, always. Immediately following the junior women, and Allie is our last skier in this division. We'll jump directly into the junior men with Dylan Smith, Jamie Calhoun, Sean Hunter, and Cole McCormick. Both of these top two skiers were into 39 off yesterday. Yet. No, man, as Stephen said, Bruce said, "Got two Bruce?" And Bruce said, "No, man, I ain't ate nothing."
You know that. That's pretty good.
Allie Nicholson, 32 off the tow line. Out there, looks like she's about a mile wide at one ball. And again, she just needs obviously a wider course. Having a outstanding career over the next several years has really come on. Oh! I cannot even imagine what happened right there. She went into the wake, and that body position was just absolutely perfect. And then boom, that rope got taken away from her. Wow, that opened the door massively right there, especially for Cassidy Hawkins. And it looks like unofficial. I would probably say 5 buoys, but that's unofficial. And all right, they got a little bit of celebration over here for Cassidy. Great skiing right there. I was so surprised that Allie went down at that point. She came out of 5 balls so perfectly in position, and then as she got into the wake, that rope just got pulled away from her. Lost her a little bit in the space. I can't really say exactly what happened. What was their official score? Do you even notice?
What was her what?
Their official score. You didn't notice?
I didn't. I can find out.
I think it's 5. All right, so it looks like the breakdown right here. Cassidy Hawkins is going to be our junior women champion right here, followed, and she actually scored 2 buoys at 38 off the tow line, and then Anna Gay with a half a buoy at 38 off. Those are our top 2 spots right there. And that official score, by the way, at 32 off for Allie was 5 buoys. Because she was definitely into the wake, strong position, and then boom, it was a wrap right there for some crazy reason. Never seen her do that before. I've had the opportunity to watch her many times. Immediately, as I mentioned, going into junior men, Dylan Smith, Jamie Calhoun, Sean Hunter, Cole McCormick, and these last 2 skiers were into 39 off, both of them. So really anticipating to seeing that one more time. And we've already got our, now you get to, that's they're bringing their boat down to simulation. Looks like they're going to be skiing behind the Malibu for the junior men.
All right, thanks, Jeff Wiswall. He just told me he's going to go get about 4 of those sausage dogs from the Knights of Columbus. Fine dining, delicious. I saw a lady eating a cheeseburger earlier, and first one to get the burger, I don't know how she pulled those strings. I was sitting here hungry, and she comes rubbing it in my face. Look at my burger. But that's okay. I ended up getting my sausage dog, and it was delicious. Good. As we're getting ready to go into the junior men's division in slalom, we got Dylan Smith, Jamie Calhoun, Sean Hunter, and Cole McCormick. Be coming up shortly. They'll be skiing behind the Malibu. Malibu? They got the boo coming out. Too much fun out here. Great day of skiing. Some upsets, some atta girls, some atta boys, some runoffs, and a hodgepodge of different things happening here at the tournament. So much fun. It's like too much fun. What's that mean? It's like too much money. There's really no such thing. It's like a girl too pretty or a car too fast. With country 95.5. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. Looks like we'll have our first scheduled skier coming up right here in just a moment. Dylan Smith will be coming out at 14.25 meter line, 28 off the tow rope. The boat's down there, and skier is in the water getting ready to take off right here in the next few moments. And if you get a chance, swing by the D3 booth down there. They got shirts and skis and bindings and trick skis and all kinds of other items and such. So go on down there and visit. They'll make you a good deal because you're here at the Junior U.S. Open. I guarantee it. Just tell them Chad sent you. Looking for a good deal, Chad. Give me the Chad Hunter deal. All right, but right now on the water, Dylan Smith coming out 28 off. Oh, nicely around 1, over to 2. Waiting on 2. 36 miles an hour for these guys as he's out there around 4, pulling to 5, backside 5. Over to 6, and out the gate he goes, 28 off, Dylan Smith. Pass number 1. Pass number 1. That's the pass immediately before pass number 2. Wake up, Mel. Melanie Calhoun over there trying to go night-night. I seen the yawn. I just want to go to sleep. Dylan will be getting ready to come back in 32 off 13 meters. And if you get a chance, Knights of Columbus are here cooking it up. It's great, great food out there. We've got a Marine cooking, so they're good under fire or over fire. Semper Fi there, devil dog. Roof, roof. Oh, great. Just throw your stuff at me, Jeff. Got a little wind kicking up here. A little stronger than before. Little tailwind from the south end of the lake. That's to our left as you're listening at home. Dylan getting ready to pull out. Here goes his swing out right now as we speak. Nice and tall. Letting that ski move down the lake, dropping in out there around 1. Oh, big turnaround 2, backside in the buoy. Waiting on 3. Really keeping those shoulders square as he pulls behind the boat and at the buoy. Out there around 6, and out the gate he goes. 32 off for Dylan Smith. Goes down. Our first skier in the junior men division.
6 with a 07. 6 with a 07.
So we got Russell Gay out here too. If you want to talk to him a little bit about Master Line products and Eagle vest and such, tell him Chad sent you. He'll give you a heck of a deal. He'll knock $1.75 off for every vest purchase from him. I might can talk him into knocking $2 off. Dylan getting ready to come back in at 35 off, and the breeze is just a nice little breeze out. I like it. You know, I would enjoy skiing in this if I was skiing, but I'm not a junior anymore because I'm the first one named. Like if I was named Jerry, then I would have been junior because that's my dad's name. Ooh, if I was a junior that way, could I ski in the junior events? Well, Mr. JR, he's kind of JR, that's junior. But Dylan Smith on the water right now, round 1 at 35 off, waiting on 2, backsiding it. Throwing up a big spray around 3, out there around 4. In this nicely as he's waiting on 5, pulling to 6. Long pull to 6, but gets around it and through the gates he goes. Dylan Smith, 35 off. It's going to make for some good competition as the first skier in this division is going to be coming back in 11-2-38. Yeah, 38. Daddy sang bass. He got 4 buoys at 38 off yesterday. So I got a sneaky suspicion he's going to want to better that score a little bit. Be coming back in a tailwind 38, 11-2-5. Got Amy Calhoun coming up towards Sean Hunter and Cole McCormick. So he's got some stiff competition out here today. Dylan Smith, first skier in the 38 in the junior men's division today. This is the last group in the slalom event, and then we'll be moving into tricks. And they'll do all the tricks, and then they have to do junior men, junior women, preliminary jumping, because they wasn't able to get it in yesterday and ran out of time. So they're going to do junior men, junior women prelims, and then they'll do international girls, international boys finals, junior women, junior men finals. All right, right now, Dylan Smith on the water, 38 off. Here we go, through the gates. I saw 1 pulling over 2, big turnaround 2, but in this waiting on 3, look at Dylan go, pulling the 4, a little bit of slack as he turns 3. Had to pull long and hard to 4, got a fist pump as he got 4 buoys, 38 off, tied his score from yesterday. Wow, wow, what a start, what a finish. Way to go, Dylan.
4 with an 8-4. 4 with an 8-4 confirmed at 11:58 total buoys.
Looks like 4 buoys confirmed, 38 off for Dylan Smith. That was awesome skiing there. Getting ready to go into our next competitor from just north of Atlanta, Amy Calhoun, up in the Canada region. Yeah, Jamie got 4 at 38 yesterday, but he typically runs 38 and down the line at 39 and even running 39, so we know Jamie can do this. Let's see how he handles it today here at the Junior U.S. Open 2018. And I thought it was Canada too, Jody. But my history teacher and my teachers back in high school told me all 3 times when I was in 5th grade. Ooh, Jamie's decided to go out at 13 meters. So he's wanting that 38 off headwind. So he'll be going 32 off the rope, come in a mean green 13 line length. So Jamie's playing the wind here in his favor. Yep. So he's playing, he's counting on running a 35 tail, 38 headwind. Nice around 1 over to 2. Jamie's a big, tall, strong skier. Just moves that ski like he needs to through the course. Uses that leverage that tall skiers have to his advantage as he runs 32 off easily. Opening pass for Jamie. Okay. All right, so Jamie will be getting ready to come back in 12 meters, 35 off. Whoopsie. Wind has calmed down just a little bit, so that may come into his advantage. All right, here we go. Jamie up on the water, 35 off. Here at Ski Chase Lake at the 2018 Junior U.S. Open. So Jamie's going to need to run this pass and then get a piece of 5 at 38 to take the lead from Dylan Smith, who tied his score from yesterday with 4 at 38. Seemed to be happy with that score. Now Jamie on the water, 35 off. Nicely around 2, waiting on 3, standing so tall at the buoy. Just making 35 off look so easy as he's pulling over to 6 and out the gate. Jamie really just skiing it up, looking good out there running 35 off.
Oh, 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8,
Yeah, you can.
Okay, Jamie coming off the dock, 32 off, by the way, and that was 35 off. Taking advantage of this little bit of a headwind, and it is a factor. It's not a major wind, but it does give the skier a little bit of advantage. He can be a little bit more aggressive into the headwind, knowing that that wind is going to get out there and slow him down nicely to be able to kind of open the window a little bit more on his finish out of the buoy. And we really do enjoy when we have a little bit of a headwind. And of course, to get that advantage, and of course you have to run like a 35 tailwind right there, and he didn't have any problem doing that at all. But right now, 38 off the tow line, our skier in the junior men division, Jamie Calhoun. And nicely at 2 ball. Got a little forward coming out of 3, but he's still moving it, and it looks like it might be short of 5 ball. Had a little bit of a problem coming out of 2 ball, but was able to get over there to 3 and 4, unofficially 4 buoys, and not counting at 38 off.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Jamie can run that pass. He does it so often. But I was talking to his mom yesterday, and you know, Jamie, when he graduated school this past winter, he ended up going down south and training for the Masters, staying in Florida, and you know, got used to those conditions, that weather, and he ended up going back home for a little bit. And you know, it's a little bit different when you go up north, and so the water's a little bit cooler. And then he came from there to here, where the water's 90-something degrees, and it takes a little bit to adjust. So Jamie, that's okay. We know Jamie can go lots further down the line than that, so we'll give him an attaboy. He's tied for first right now, though. That's a good thing. So it's up to Sean and Cole to try to top that score. And 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with a 0 8, 6 with a 0 8. 6 with we'll see what happens. But I just got a text. I'd like to give a shout out to the gang at Lake 38. They said they're all watching. They're on the webcast enjoying this broadcast of the Junior U.S. Open. So, hey, y'all. Everybody over in Tallahassee with the All Britons, the Albatrons, Albatron Electric. It's shocking what they can do for you.
Yeah, talking about Jamie going home for a time, and got to keep in mind that that when he does do that, you know, his water temperature is going to drop about 30 degrees. You know, we've got 90+ degree water temperature down here, and needless to say, it can have an effect. And I've noticed, you know, especially this year, that the warmer the water gets, you know, I'm not quite as effective, you know, so I need to look into sometimes, you know, some additional ski tuning when this water warms up like that, because Jamie definitely has an ability to run 39 off even. Personal best is a full pass at 39. But right now, our next scheduled skier, more than likely coming off 28 off the toe line, Sean Hunter. Again, as I was mentioning earlier, you know, with Cassidy Hawkins having a very unique style, well, Sean does too. And if you'll notice, when he comes out of the buoy, you know, that line just stays so incredibly tight. He just moves right back into a tight line. His timing out of the buoy seems to be so precise that he just gently, you know, moves right back to a tight line and able to begin his pull and setting his angle kind of uniquely, and that's kind of you know, something I've really enjoyed, you know, watching him, you know, especially this year, is finding that he does have a unique style. 32 off the toe line coming up here in just a moment. Sean Hunter, our skier on the water, and if you recall yesterday, 3 buoys at 39 off was his performance, and that gave him the number seed position for the finals today.
What's he need to be? 4:38.
Yeah, the first two. Of course, Sean's looking at the fact that Jamie and Dylan threw out their 4 buoys at 38 off, but once again, you know, he's not looking at that. He may be totally aware of it, but not necessarily looking at that as a performance to aspire to, but because he wants to get through this 38 and put some serious pressure on Cole McCormick, the top seed skier. Right now, into the gates, 32 off the toe line, Sean Hunter. And he's just like a rock out there. And watch him as he comes around that buoy, how tight that line stays. There's nothing, you know, I mean, it's like as a microsecond before he comes around that buoy and he's into his pull. Very unique style with Sean. And a lot of, you know, many of you other skiers, you know, they'll come around that buoy and they'll draw their hands in a little bit more, and Sean may move his hands a couple of inches to bring that rope to, you know, get the awareness back on the boat, and then he's right back into it. And he's so smooth, no upper body movement, and that ski is coming around so nicely. So 35 off the toe line coming up.
That was 35.
Oh, he started at 32?
Yeah, I thought he was going to go out at 28, but
okay, looks like he came off the dock as well at 32 off. That's 35 off. Nice job. Obviously starting to think out there, because he wants this advantage of taking a 38 headwind, so he came off the dock at 13-meter toe line. So automatically now he's going to have the opportunity to feel a little bit of this headwind coming his way on 38. He knows that he's got to run this to have the opportunity to go deep, perhaps at 39. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do, because I love pronouncing. Thanks a lot. 38 off the toe line. Nice start at 1 ball. He's looking strong right here, and again, took a little bit of hit right there, but he's on time. He's looking strong at 5 ball and not going to be an issue getting 2 and around 6, and he is going to be able to take a little bit more 39 action. Kind of got on the back of his ski a little bit at 1 ball, and then oddly enough, at 2 he finished in, and that put a little slack in line. I mean, a little slack is not much. For Sean, if it's got more than 2 inches of slack, that's a little bit of slack for Sean, because he usually, his timing is he comes around that buoy so well and moves right back into almost a perfectly tight line. But he took a little hit out of 2, but he just stayed right back into it, got back into it, and then by the time he got to 4 and 5, he was back on the Sean train. And so he came around 5, and that line stayed tight, and wasn't an issue at all getting over 2 and around 6 at 38 off the tow line, coming off the dock at 32. Sweet running out there. We appreciate you guys skiing for us today. All of you that making our day. All right, got a little bit of a tailwind, so Sean down there, and he's thinking about this. Man, I got to put my thinking cap on, and I realize that half of his jeans don't really add to that thinking cap side, but half of them do, and so he's going to shift to that half right here because he's got to deal with a 39 off, a little bit of a tailwind. He's got to be extremely precise. He's looking to go deep, and a sweet 1 ball. Good gracious, that was a good 1 ball. He is big, and he's out there, and going hard. I'm okay, Sean. All right, thank you very much. That was a unique fall. Thank you for signaling to us that you are okay. That was a nice 1 ball, and looks like unofficially 2 buoys at 39 off. Did not quite equal his performance from yesterday, which was 3 at 39 off. But it looked like to me that he was really trying to get over there 2-3, and I thought there for a second he was going to do that. But then his dismount was absolutely a 9.5. And I was going to video that. Boy, I missed a great opportunity. Okay, we're down to our top seed skier. Really going into slalom after this, by the way. But McCormick looked like he was going to run 39 yesterday and came up just a touch short, made a little baby error that. But he was able to get 2 and around 5 ball at 39. He had it. Spoke to him a little bit earlier, and he said, "Well, I thought I did too. Maybe he just got a buoy ahead of himself mentally." But right now, Cole McCormick probably coming off the dock at 32 off, and that is affirmative right there. Cole McCormick really killing it in the last year or two. They've been running 39, so looking for some 39 action here today. Easily around 6, 13-meter tow line. Cole McCormick.
6 with a 0-8. 6 with a 0-8. 6 with a 0-8. Now rest of the start. 32 off.
Cole being our final skier, top seed skier in the junior men division, he realizes that Sean is out there. He's, Sean's out there taking names too. He hammered a 2 at 39 off. Yesterday was 3, and so this is serious competition. These skiers are on each other nose to nose, so it's exciting. Cole McCormick, they have tightened that line up, and looks like they're moving away from him, getting that line tight, and we'll be back up on the water here in just a moment. 35 off as he makes his way one buoy at a time toward that 39.5 tow line length that he's looking for. He thought he was going to have that in his bag yesterday. Maybe got ahead of himself a touch mentally. But right now, 35 off, Cole McCormick. Sweet one ball. This is easy for Cole. Just easy, gentle around 2 ball and 3. Walk in the park, and he says, I'm just waiting. You know, the boat seems to be just pulling me around all these buoys at 35. Nice, easy extension at 6, and now out the gate. At 35 off the tow line, Cole McCormick, and taking advantage of this no headwind. It seemed to be dropping off once again. But for those listening to us online, you know, it's not been a hard breeze at all. It's been a helpful breeze, you know, throughout the entire morning. And a lot of times the skiers like to have a little head-tail wind. It kind of cuts the water and gives you a little bit of advantage on every other pass as you take it into the wind. And right now, Cole is going to take a very, very slight headwind 38 right here, and in the same way that Sean did as well, coming off a dock at 32 and having a little bit of a tailwind 35 and giving that little bit of advantage at 38 off, and it's pretty much dropped off entirely almost here. So he's not going to get much of it. Not that it would make hardly any difference at all. But right now, Cole McCormick, the line's tight. He's up on the water, making his way around the island, and that boat is lining up, and he'll be on his counter in just a moment. 38 off the tow line, Cole McCormick. He's looking for 6 here, and then he's looking for 6 more, I am sure, into the gates at 38. Man, this is so smooth, you know, you'd think he was about 12 feet tall, just sitting out there waiting on all the buoys, and easily at 38 off around 6 ball and out the gate. He graduated this year, and I don't mean he graduated in 239 off. He graduated college, had the opportunity to talk to him. I said, well, how's school? He says, I graduated. You know, so that's not necessarily a positive statement that, and now he's got to begin to understand reality. Cole McCormick, 39 off the point. The point at 39 and a half off, that's 11.25, excuse me, 10.75 meters. Tow line. And that equates to the rope is really, really short. So kind of keep that in mind, especially those online that are having the opportunity to watch this. Thank you for being with us, without a doubt. And we're going to get the opportunity to watch Cole McCormick at 39 and a half off, 10.75 meter tow line for the international folks and those that are used to the metric calibrations here. But right now, 39 off, Cole McCormick, as he's stroking firm at 38, and he's getting ready to be into the gates. He is on his counter into the gates at 39. Oh, sweet one ball out there strong. Oh, and Barry, oh! I can't believe he had such a strong one ball. It looks like he was just waiting out there for 2 ball and down around it, and he is down from the 2 ball, unofficially 1.5 buoys at 39 and a half off. That catapults Sean Hunter into the #1 position for this, the junior men 2018 Junior U.S. Open. Looks like Sean Hunter is taking the gold on this one. A mistake out there at 2 ball with Cole McCormick. A total surprise to himself, I'm sure, and everyone on shore. 1.5 buoys at 39. We will immediately go into the tricking event with international girls, international boys, junior women, junior men, and then following that, we will also jump into a little bit of a leftover from yesterday with the jump preliminaries for junior women and junior men, and then we'll do jump finals with the international girls and international boys, and then immediately jump back into the junior women finals and junior men finals in the jumping event. So hang out there with us. We're going to be right back into it here in just a moment with tricking. John and Cole, 1 and 2.
John?
Yeah, John first and Cole.
And then who came in third? John, McCormick. How did you count? 1 and 4 at
Bob Harris, come in, Bob Harris. Go ahead. Is there not going to be a runoff for third place? No, only runoff for first place. Okay, copy that.
All right.
Yeah, it did. Actually, no, because what they do, 438 and Smith, I don't know how they would calculate that, because what they would do, also, so.
Is Roger on the radio?